Hey, I'm Brian Tome. I am an adventurer and a pastor. I know those things don't often go together, but they do with me. I've been taking down wild game for the last several years. I want to take my game to the next level. I'm coming out to the western high country in search of elk. This is the Highcountry Hunt.
I love hunting. It gets you outside of the norm of everything else you do in every other area of your life. The last few years, I've dabbled in hunting. I've killed a few white-tailed deer. Last year, I also tried to hunt an elk. It was unsuccessful. This time, I got a new friend by the name of Rob Wiley who's gonna help me through the ropes. Rob is an outfitter and guide by trade, refused to take any money at all, was simply out to enjoy the great outdoors on his own, and he allowed me to tag along. When we got to where we were hunting, the first thing we need to do is sight in my rifle. Now, what does that mean? You've got, a scope on top, and you can't just put one of those on there because that has to see exactly where the bullet's going. And so there's all kind of micro adjustments you have to make so that what you're looking at your sight is actually where the bullet is going. And Rob was a master at that. It wasn't just a really interesting day, a fun day, but it was absolutely necessary. Had we not done this, I would have no chance of getting an elk because I could be right on with the crosshairs, but that doesn't mean that's where the bullet's gonna go.
Half-minute rolling right.
And why would you just say you're an inch low?
You can't define the inches as well as you can define the minutes. It's the snipers, it's the military guys that train the hunters how to communicate in a unit of measure.
Okay, all right.
Burned through about a box of ammo. It was time to pack up the gear, head to the horses, and head to the mountains.
So should I load up my clip?
Yeah, clips are for girls and hair. Magazines are for men and guns.
All right.
So a little education for those of us who aren't into the hunting world. It's called a sport because there are definite rules attached to it. And if you don't abide by those rules, you get disqualified. You have to get a tag. A tag is a thing that you affix to the animal if you get one that shows that I paid the tax for this animal. And the reason you have that isn't just to pay the tax, but they're only giving out so many tags because they don't want to deplete the population. Having your tag is a big deal. And I don't have my tag.
Hey, Colby. Hey, where are you guys at? Yeah, Brian just can't find his wallet with his tags in it, so I was wondering if you were at the cabin.
Oh, no, I don't have a rig.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well,
Tell me to shoot something, I'll bring it out.
Why don't you guys take the rental car and go back and get the license?
It was in my wallet back to where we were stayed, so that was about an hour delay. So many things in this experience are entirely new to me. I've been on horses on controlled trail rides, but very rarely on a horse that I could do anything with it that I wanted to. It was a crossbreed between a draft horse and a quarter horse. Basically, it's a cross between a 3/4 ton pickup and a sports car. And he's mine. His name is Angus.
Smile for the camera, that's right. We're gonna kick some elk ass. That's right. It's gonna be a dead elk, and you and I are gonna get it done.
So it's the first day, and the goal is just to see if we can find something. Last time I went elk hunting, it was days and days, a week, and I never saw an elk. Here we are, the first day, a few hours in, and there they are. They're about 800 yards out. I can get a little closer, but it'll be difficult.
They pick up movement so well.
interesting, especially with the colors that we're wearing. They would be able to see us from 1,200 yards.
It's also getting late in the day. It's about 3:30, which doesn't sound late, but you gotta consider if you get an elk, you gotta get to it, and it's gonna take you a couple hours to strip it down and get back to civilization. And then add to that number 3, it's my first day. I came out here for an adventure. You know, I'd really want to be done after a few hours.
I mean, I think we're better off to just leave them. Likely they're going to be probably within 300-400 yards of right there, as long as, you know, there's not a wolf that comes through in the middle of the night or, you know, some reason that they move off. But this is their home territory, so they should be here fairly close tomorrow.
Rob tells me he's pretty confident we can find them again or elk again, so I decide to pass on this shot on the first day. Later on, I meet Todd, who turned me on to this whole hunt, and I tell him we decided to not take that shot in the first day, and he looks at me and says, "Are you crazy?" He says that him and his son just got off of a 10-day elk hunt, and they passed on one the first day, and they never saw another elk for 9 other days. I'm terrified. Did I do the wrong thing?